Maybe the Green Bay Packers tonight get it done. I mean, but the neat thing, though, is Aaron Rodgers is playing like vintage Aaron Rodgers, despite what we saw last week. He didn't have his top running back, and, it was like a 90-mile-per-hour wind in his face much of the day.
It's for me, and I'll say this quickly, and I don't want to take up too much of your time, but as a Hollywood guy, to me, the situation is all about ease in Green Bay, where you've got your superstar, you bring in this other young person, and all of a sudden, it's like anybody else. There's somebody, underneath you that could possibly take your job, and you find a little more gas in the tank, a little more juice, a little more energy. Look, he's a great player, but I do think when folks are no different than with Brett Favre, when they were saying, hey, Aaron Rodgers, maybe we got to start using this guy, there was a little bit more in Brett's tank. So I think he's great. I think the team is great. I'm just happy to see, the NFL and Major League Baseball and NBA, they've figured it out. Has not been perfect, but when everything else is going on, to just have sport, to have something that's distracting us in the best possible way, I was a bit of a skeptic. I'm happy to see that, the teams are making it work, the organizations are making it work, and they're playing some good ball. Not perfect ball out there, but some good ball.
What did you think of when Jordan, you referred to it, John, when Jordan Love was drafted? What did you think of it that night?
Like everybody else. I mean, look, I'm not even going to pretend to be smart enough to even game out strategy or anything like that. But as a guy who's sitting on the couch, you're sort of like, really? I mean, for me, part of the thing is some of the best quarterbacks, whether it's Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, they weren't top picks. They just turned out to be great. So I'm always a little suspect with any of these guys who go, top. Obviously, there've been, the Peyton Mannings of the world who've, they started great, they ended great, they were great in between. Beyond that, you're like, okay, well, why not take receivers? The first 4 games, you're like, okay, they clearly knew what they were doing. But in football, probably more than any other sport, repeating championships is not easy, if it's even possible. So when you look at what the Patriots are able to do, and I think this year it really comes into resolve, that was a really magic, unique relationship. With the Packers, I was like everybody else. Why not give this guy weapons? Why not get the receivers? For a while, it seemed to not be a problem. It seems like their problems, much like last year when they lost to San Francisco, it's more on the defensive side than the offensive side, irrespective if they've gone out and gotten, a couple of other great receivers.
So you start your response by saying you're not smart enough to maybe game this out, and then you actually gave out a very smart, well-reasoned response right there. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.